A good chunk of you guys are probably familiar with Advance Wars, right? It's a couple of tactical RPG titles on the Game Boy Advance that recently saw a remake on the Switch. It's kinda like Fire Emblem Light, as I like to call it, but the series has an extensive history well beyond those two Game Boy Advance titles. And the series of games wasn't always called Advance Wars. Rather, that part is just the name of the console it's on. With that said, the first game in this series was called Famicom Wars, because Famicom. And continuing with this tradition, a game called 64 Wars for the Nintendo GameCube, not the Nintendo 64 of course, was in development during the mid-90s. The game was first shown in 1999 at Shoshinkai with a release date within that same year. The game would have had connectivity with Game Boy Wars 2, a game released a year prior for the Game Boy/Game Boy Color. Despite 64 Wars looking like it was nearing completion, it was cancelled and scrapped for unknown reasons, and thus never seen since last century.